How's it going, everybody? Welcome to today's stick mobility class. I am Coach Ray. Thank you for tuning in for today. So today's class, I wanted to keep it mostly focused on rotational specific movements. So we are going to be doing a lot of spinal rotation. We're also going to be working on the hips a little bit, but for the main part of the strengthening drills, we are going to be using a door frame to work on the lateral tissues. We're going to need something stable for us to press the sticks into, because we are also going to work on some core and tricep extensions, as well as some shoulder mobility, internal and external, okay? So I do have 2 long sticks and 1 short stick. So the 2 long sticks are 6 feet. The short stick is the 5-footer here. Also have a pad for us to kneel on for later on when we start to get into more things. So first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna focus on the hips and pelvis first, okay? So what I wanna do is I wanna take a horse stance a little wider than shoulder width, okay? Whatever's most comfortable. I'm gonna have the stick, short stick, directly in front. I'm gonna have it angled in towards me so I can drive the stick into the ground and create some tension. So from here, I'm gonna squat down, make sure everything is stacked, nice and tall. Now from here, what I wanna do, I wanna drive the stick down with about 20 to 30% tension, and I'm gonna do a posterior tilt and squeeze my glutes and drive my knees apart. So I'm going to abduct at the hips. Now I'm gonna do an anterior tilt. Make sure you're staying up tall. Posterior tilt. Good, anterior tilt. Make sure you breathe. Posterior tilt. Good, anterior tilt. Posterior tilt. Anterior tilt. Good, posterior tilt. Good to go, squeeze, anterior tilt. Excellent. I'm gonna go back into a posterior tilt, okay? Hold this position. Now I'm going to do lateral hip bump. So I'm gonna bump my hips up to the right glute tightens. I'm gonna bump my hips up to the left. Good, right. Make sure you're breathing, left. Good, right. Left. Good, a couple more, right. Stay up tall, left. One more time, right. Good, and left. Back to center, and relax. Okay, good. So now I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna actually turn to the side. And so now we're actually gonna work on getting some thoracic movement. So we're just gonna focus on a little bit more of a flowy movement. Now, the movement here is kind of akin to doing a circle with the mid, back, and thoracic spine. So the main thing as we do this is that we want to make sure that our hips aren't moving along with or opposite of the spine. We want to keep the hips locked in. So from here, again, this is a short stick. I'm just gonna grip out to the end of the stick here. Now what I wanna do, squat down a bit, make sure my pelvis is tucked, glutes are tight a little bit, all right? This is just to lock the hips in extension. From here, what I'm gonna do, I'm going to first tilt to my right, so I'm gonna get some lateral flexion, and then I'm gonna flex, okay? Come forward, and now I'm gonna come over to the left, going to lateral flexion, and then extension, okay? So it's like we're making a circle. Good, keep it slow and controlled. We are starting counterclockwise. Good. The movement should only be as big as you can control and whatever doesn't cause any pain. Now I'm gonna go opposite direction. Now the hands are just resting on the stick, not adding any tension or pressure. We're just trying to move the spine around. Kind of prepping, right? Should feel that spine loosen up a little. Good. Back to center. Okay, let's go and relax for a second here. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna focus on rotation from this position here, okay? So, still in that same stance. Again, we're squeezing the glutes, okay? Locking those hips forward. Make sure your feet are firmly planted, all right? From here, okay, I'm gonna get a good grip on a stick, almost like I'm gripping a barbell, all right? I'm gonna lightly pull the stick apart about 10 to 15%. And I'm gonna rotate to my left. Now, again, we're trying to keep the hips forward. So as I rotate to my left, I'm driving my left hip forward. Now I'm gonna come back, and I'm gonna rotate to the right, driving my right hip forward, okay? Good. Back to center, rotate to the left. Good. Rotate to the right. Good. Rotate to the left. Excellent. Rotate to the right. Good. One more time. Rotate to the left. Good. And rotate to the right. Good. Back to center and relax. Good. So, what I'm going to do here, I'm going to take the pad, I'm going to go to the floor. So what we're going to do is we're going to work on actively splitting the hips. So we're going to work on stretching out the hip flexor, but not in a way where we're trying to actually get it relaxed. We're trying to create tension there. So positioning is going to be a little bit different. So if you look at me from the side, I'm going to start with my left knee down, right foot forward. My back foot, dorsiflexing that ankle, so I'm driving that big toe into the floor. I want to create power here, all right? So, facing forward here, I'm going to start with the sticks. I want to have the bottom of the sticks roughly about where the arch of my right foot is, okay? That back foot, I'm dorsiflexing that ankle, right? Big toes into the floor. What I'm going to do from here, I'm going to go through a series of activation. So first thing, I'm going to drive the sticks down about 30% tension. I'm going to drive that back foot down, squeeze the glute, and then shift my hips forward. You should feel quite a bit of tension and stretch on that left hip. And I'm going to slowly come out, ease off. I'm going to do that another 4 more times. Drive the sticks down 30%, drop that back foot into the floor, tuck the pelvis, squeeze the glute, shift forward. Good, ease off. Excellent. So again, drive the sticks down, back foot, squeeze the glute. Good, come out. That's 3, okay? Go ahead and activate. 2 more. Make sure that pelvis is tucked. Good, ease off. 1 more time, okay? Pelvis is tucked. Drive the back foot down, squeeze the glute. Good, and ease off. Let's go ahead and switch sides. Right, same thing, okay? Drive the sticks down, back foot into the floor, squeeze the glute, tuck the pelvis, shift forward. Ease off. Good. Excellent. Okay, same thing. Drop down, activate, shift forward, and ease off. 3 more. Draw that back foot down. Ease off. There's 3. Let's go 2 more. Draw that back foot down. Draw the sticks into the floor. Squeeze the glute. Split those hips. Ease off. 1 more time, okay? Go through activation. Try the back foot down, squeeze the glute. Shift forward. 2, 1, and ease off. Good, okay. So now what we're gonna do from here is we're gonna focus on doing some extension, working on thoracic extension, but we're gonna do it from a half kneeling position. So I'll actually kind of turn to the side a little bit. So with this, we're gonna shift the hips back, all right? and we're going to drive the hands out. So from this tall kneeling position, arms are straight, okay? Hands are at roughly about shoulder height. You can have them up a little higher, okay? Now my back feet, both of my feet are going to be flat to the floor, so I'm extending my ankles here, okay? Now the sticks are at shoulder width. What I'm going to do from this position, I'm going to drive my hands out and sink my hips back. Sit into it. Okay, so it's a different way to attack that thoracic extension. Good. I'm going to come up, squeezing my glutes, bringing my hips into full extension. Okay, and ease off. Now we're going to create tension into the floor. So I'm going to drive the sticks to the floor about 20% tension. So push down, keep those shoulders down. I'm going to hinge back, driving those hands out, and allow those shoulder blades to move naturally. Good. Squeeze the glutes to come up to that tall position. Ease off. Let's go 2 more here. All right. Drive the sticks down. Hinge. Should be feeling that T-spine open up a bit. Squeeze the glutes. Get to that full hip extension. Relax. Excellent. One more time. Drive the sticks down. Hinge. Good. Squeeze the glutes, come up. Hip extension. And relax. Awesome. So, I'm going to place one stick down. All right. Now, what we're going to get into here is a bit of a different drill. So this drill is called the scorpion. So we're going to slowly segment through this so you get an idea from what the movement is. So we're first going to be face down. Now the stick, I'm going to have it on the floor. Again, this is a long stick. And what I want to do, I want to lay face down. Now I'm going to have my hands stretched out as wide as they can go. Okay. Now from here, what I want to do is I'm going to go through a different pattern of movements. So I'm going to start by actually rotating or going to my left, my right here. So first thing, I'm going to extend the left hip. Okay. Now what my hands are doing or arms are doing, I'm going to compress the stick about 10%. And what I'm going to do from here is I'm going to slowly bring that left heel over, getting as much range as I can. Okay. Then I'm going to come back over, place it back down. Now we're getting mid-back rotation. We're also segmenting everything, right? So grip the stick, lightly compress, okay? Extend that left hip, bring it up and over. Try to keep your shoulders and chest to the floor. Come back up. Down. Excellent. Let's go one more time. We're going to have something a little different at the end here. Compress the stick. Extend the hip. Bring it up and over. Now pull the stick apart. Okay, try to lengthen that stick. Good. Back up and over. And ease off. We're going to do the same thing on the other side now. Okay? So compress the stick. Extend the right hip. Bring it up and over. Allow your hips to turn over. Good. Come back up. Down. Okay. Let's go 2 more. Compress. Hip and extension. Comes up, over. Good. Place it back down. Excellent. One more time. Compress. Extend. Up and over. Pull apart. Get that upper back activation. Good. Back up and over. And relax. Good. Okay. So now we're going to go to a standing position and move this out of the way for now. So now from here, we're just going to focus on getting you to a little bit of bow and arrow just to prep some of the lateral tissues a little bit more. Okay. We're going to treat this as if we're doing repetitions. So it's going to work in and out of it here. All right. So feet are about roughly hip to shoulder width apart. Feet are forward. I'm actually going to have the stick about roughly 6 inches from the outside of my midfoot here. It's on my left side. Right hand comes up and over. Right. Initial first position here. I want to drive the stick down with both hands to the floor. Drive my hips away. Extend my hands out. I'm going to come back in. We're only going to hold for a moment. Okay. Same thing. Drive the stick down. Only about 20%. Hips away from the stick. Extend those hands out. That's 2. Let's go 3 more. Keep that tension of driving the stick into the floor. Extend the hips out. 3. Good. Again. 4. One more time. And 5. Back in and ease off. Awesome. Same thing. Right? Take that left hand up over the top, thumb facing down towards the floor. With both hands, drive the stick into the floor. Drive hips away, extend those hands out. Back in. Excellent. Let's go again. That's 2. Again. 3. 2 more. 4. Last one. 5. Good. Ease off. Take a second here. So now what we're going to do here is we're going to focus on, we're going to mainly do 3 different drills. First one's going to be internal external rotation on the shoulders. So we're going to be in this position here. So we are going to need the short stick for that one. We're also going to work on some lateral tension. That's what the top of the squat rack is going to be for as well. All right. Then we're going to focus on doing a little bit of core tricep work. Get a little bit of a pump going here. Okay. So I'm actually going to switch this mat around. Here. Right. Now with the short stick, I'm going to take a short stick. So we've done this drill before. Now the main part of this is we want to make sure that we're not extending the back. We want to make sure we're in a nice tall position as we do this drill. We want to make sure there's no compensations here. All right. So I'm actually going to start with my right hand up top and left hand is going to be under. Now the position of which we start is going to depend on you, but I'm going to start out pretty far with my hands pretty far away from one another and then slowly itch them in. Now, as we're in this tall position, my left hand, which is this hand here, this arm is internally rotated. My right arm is going to be externally rotated. I'm going to have my right hand above my head first and my left hand right at the small of my back here. Okay. Now, from this position here, I want to make sure I keep contact with the head, T-spine, and pelvis. So, what I'm going to do first, I'm going to lengthen a stick at about 60% tension. So from here, pull the stick apart. Hold. Excellent. Now try to shorten that stick. So try Bring your hands close together, compressing. Excellent. Pull the stick apart again. Compress. And ease off. Okay. I'm going to bring this right hand down lower. I'm going to itch my left hand up higher. So now I'm getting further into external, internal rotation. All right. And I want to try to keep my right elbow up. So same thing. Pull the stick apart, 60%. Pull. Shorten the stick. Try to compress. Lengthen the stick. Shorten the stick. And ease off. Now we're going to switch sides. So, it's a really good way to work on that shoulder mobility, strengthen the capsule. Okay? So I'm going to turn around here so you can see from the back. All right? So I'm going to have my hands start off in the same position. And one side is going to feel harder or tighter than the other, and that's okay. You can adjust your hands as you need to. Right? So, same position. All right, let's first try to lengthen. So pull the stick apart, 60%. Breathe. Shorten the stick. Pull the stick apart again. Compress. Ease off. Bring those hands in closer if you can. Okay. Same thing. All right. Pull stick apart. 60%. Go. Compress. Good. Pull apart. Compress. And ease off. Good. Okay. So we're going to do it one more time. Now what we're going to do is we're going to try to work in our hands as close as we can. All right. And what we're also going to do is we're only going to do one round, 2 reps each, about an 8 to 10 second hold. After that, we're going to start to use the upper arm to leverage a little bit further internal rotation right after activating it. Okay? So, from here, right hand's up again, right? Try to get those hands in as close as you can. Okay? All right. So from here, 60%, right? Pull the stick apart. Compress. Pull apart. Compress. Ease off. Now with this right hand, I'm going to bring it up. I'm going to bring my right hand out to where it's over my right trap. And now I'm going to pull down lightly. Now I'm going to get internal rotation or stretch on that left shoulder here. Okay? Turn from the side so you can see that. Good. Now I'm going to actively pull my left hand towards my back. Ease off. Get a little bit more of a stretch. Good, relax. Gonna come out nice and slow. Okay, now we're gonna switch over to the other side, all right? So this is a lot. This might be a little extreme. So if you need to, you can always regress it by having your hands further apart, okay? So, same thing. I'm gonna turn around. Have my hand as close as I can, right? Without any pain, of course. So, same thing. Pull stick apart, 60%, pull. Awesome, compress the stick. Make sure you're breathing. Good, pull apart. Compress. Excellent, ease off. Take that left hand, move it up tall. Okay, bring the stick out a bit. Same thing, okay? From here, get a little bit of a stretch. Gonna feel it in the front of the capsule there. All right, remember getting some more internal rotation. Now pull your hand towards your low back, only a little bit. Light tension, nothing significant. Ease off, a little bit more range, more of a stretch. Excellent. Ease off, slowly come out. Perfect, good. Okay, so now we're gonna work on some of those lateral tissues here, right? So this is gonna be very, very similar to the bow and arrow. This is one of the things that is gonna prep for that. That's the reason why we did that. So what we're gonna be doing is working on the lateral chain and tissues, as well as you're gonna get those obliques a little bit. So we're actually gonna go from a short lever position, meaning I'm not gonna have my arms completely stretched out as I do this. So the stick is gonna be pressed up into the top of the squat rack here, all right? Now, my right hand, I'm gonna have it roughly about hip level. Now, I'm gonna get into it the same way I do for a bow and arrow. I'm gonna laterally flex over. I'm gonna place my left hand up top, thumb facing down. From this position, I'm going to try to drive this stick straight up through the squat rack. So from here, keeping them out to the side, I want to push up. About 60%. And ease off. Let go with the left hand, come back, and we're going to reset into that again. You should be feeling the oblique swing here a little bit. Also getting those lateral tissues involved. Same thing, left hand up over the top. Okay, 60% drive up. 3, 2, 1, ease off. Excellent, one more time, okay? Bring the hips out, left hand up over the top. Push up, 60%, push. 3, 2, 1, ease off. Excellent. We're gonna switch sides. So if you're feeling anything a little weird, let's say maybe you're getting a little back involved, a little bit too much, you can widen out your stance if you need to. Also, tuck that pelvis a bit, okay? So, get set up in the same position. From here, take my right hand up over the top, thumb facing down. Same thing, push up. Push up with both hands. 3, 2, 1, ease off. Excellent, let's do 2 more here. Right hand up over the top, thumb facing down. From here, push up. 3, 2, 1. Ease off. Excellent. Let's go one more time. Right hand facing down towards the floor. Okay, push up. 3, 2, 1, and ease off. Excellent. Good. Okay. So now we're going to get into the fun stuff. So we are now going to focus on core and triceps, like I promised. So with this, you're going to need to have a pretty good distance. Granted, you can always adjust your hands, okay, to make sure your distance is going accordingly, but for some purpose of this, I want to have enough distance to where the ends of the sticks are resting on my chest and shoulder area, right? Now my hands, when placing them initially, is going to be roughly about shoulder height, okay? Now, this is going to be a combination of a plank and a skull crusher, right? So if it's too much, you can always move your hands up higher, and it's focused on the eccentric here, okay? So from here, what I'm going to do, I'm going to extend my hands out from here, and then I'm going to lean forward. So my back, both of my feet, I'm plantar flexing, right? And I want to keep that in an extension, driving my feet down, right? I'm just going to hold this position here. I'm going to push myself back up and ease off. So it's just to prep, right, the core to get involved here. Now you can adjust your hands if need be. So now we're going to do that same thing. Now we're going to add in a tricep extension, or multiple actually. So from here, hands out, I'm going to shift forward. I'm going to be here, right? Now from this position here, I'm going to bend my arms a bit, and I'm going to allow myself to come forward, and then I'm going to push straight up. Okay? We're going to repeat that again. Keep that spine neutral. Down, keep that tension, push up. It's 2. Down, push up. 3, down, push up. 4, one more time, and push up. Come back up, ease off. Okay, we're gonna go one more time. So if that's too challenging, again, you can reduce the range of motion. You can bring your hands up a little bit higher so you don't get as much range, okay? If you want to make it more challenging, you would have your hands closer to the bottoms of the sticks over there, all right? So let's go one more time, okay? Make sure you're holding that position real tight like, all right? So from here, extend those hands out. Get to that angle, right? Down, extend, 1. Down, extend, 2. Down, extend, 3. 2 more. Down, extend, 4. Last one. Down, extend, 5. Push yourself up, and that's it. All right, perfect. So get a little bit of tricep work and a little bit of core work there. Now I'm going to move the mat out of the way. So now we're going to focus on rotation. Okay. So I'm going to have the bottoms of the sticks into the bottom of the square rack, so something stable for us to push the sticks into. Okay. Now from here, I'm actually going to take a pretty big split. So from here, what I want to do, I'm going to have my right foot forward first, all right? And I'm going to take a pretty sizable step back. Now I can adjust my feet to where I need to, but I want to have that right leg loaded. My left leg, I'm going to be having an extension, so I'm going to squeeze that left glute, all right? My hands are roughly right by my chest, right? That's exactly where I want to be. Now, keeping that right leg loaded, keeping that left hip in extension, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring my right hand up and press it up. As I do, I'm gonna reach through with that left hand, come across the body, and I'm going to shift forward into it, reaching up with that right hand. Okay, so now I'm getting that thoracic rotation here. I'm gonna come back. Excellent. Now I'm going to go the opposite way. I'm going to press that left hand up. Right hand comes through. Okay, I'm getting a lengthening of that line here, the back line, right? Try to make sure those hips don't rotate out. Bring it back in. Make sure you breathe. Bring that right hand up. Left hand comes through. Really try to sink into it. Excellent. Come back up, back down. Left hand comes up, right hand comes through. Breathe, slowly come out. Excellent. Now we're going to switch sides. So, here, we're going to do that same thing, adjust to 6 if you need to. Right foot back. We're going to go through those same movements. Load that front leg here, hand starting at about chest. Okay? Squeeze that right glute. Right? Trying to drive the hip into extension. From here, same thing. I'm going to reach out my left hand, right hand comes through. Good. Make sure you reach. Come back. Excellent. Opposite side. Come up with the right hand. Good. Come back. Excellent. Reach up with the left. Come back. Reach up with the right. Good. Go back. Slowly come out. Perfect. Awesome. Now what we're going to do, we're going to loosen up those shoulders. So I'm going to take the short stick. We're going to focus on kayaking, all right? So I'm going to take this 5-footer. I'm going to have my hand at the ends, or my fingertips to be more specific. So over here, and roughly about a shoulder width stance, maybe a little bit wider. Feet are forward. Drop the hips down a little bit. Make sure everything is stacked over one another. So I'm my right hand up. Okay, I'm going to go forward. So I'm going to drive that right hand through. Left hand comes up and over. Remember, we're getting as much scapular movement as we can here. Good. Nice and slow. Scapula should be moving along that rib cage. Make sure you're breathing. Let's go backwards. Breathe. Excellent. Now we're going to bring the stick down to here. Okay. So what we're going to do now, we're going to do pendulums. Okay. So for the purpose of this, I'm actually going to go with the rope grip. Right. Now you can adjust as you need to. I'm still going to have my fingertips on the ends of the stick here. So rope grip with my right hand, fingertips with my left hand. What I'm going to do from this position here, okay, still keeping the glutes tight, everything squeezed. I'm going to make sure I get a good firm grip. I'm going to drive my left hand across my body. Right hand comes up. to an overhead position, and then I'm actively with the right hand going to reverse that movement, actively pulling down, okay? Push through with that left hand. Good, pull down with the right. Excellent. Push to the left. Push down with the right. Let's go one more time. Push to the left. Try to keep that right arm straight. Push down with the right. And ease off. Excellent. Switch sides. Okay, get a rope grip. Same stance. So you get a grip on a stick. Okay, push with that right hand. Push. Good. Push down with the left. It's one. Push with the right. Push down with the left. Excellent. Two. Push. Push down. Three. Last one. Push to the right. Good. Push to the left. And four. Good. Ease off and relax. And that concludes today's stick mobility class. Thank you everybody for joining me for today. Hope everybody had a good class, and I'll be sure to catch you guys on the next one. Have a good day. Stay safe out there.